Nintendo Switch is over. What's going on, everybody? It's Zach from SwitchForce, and if that Nintendo Direct told us anything, it's that the Switch era is done. They stretched everything out as far as they could, and they're milking as many remakes, bringbacks, and throwbacks as they possibly can to fill the gap until the next system is ready. Give me your grade for the Nintendo Direct in the comments down below. But outside of a grade, I think the message is clear. We are at the very end of Nintendo Switch, and that's evidenced by this Direct and how it went and how it didn't go. They started off very strong, bulleting through games, and I felt like maybe this show was actually going to be more jam-packed than anyone anticipated. But it turns out Piero's leaks were slight in number because there wasn't much more to leak. The calendar setup is a bit bonkers. So we had retreads of already announced games like WarioWare, Mario RPG, and Princess Peach, which does look pretty cool, although easy. We had new games in the form of Mario vs. Donkey Kong, a remake of the GBA title, another code, Collection, Recollection, remaking Trace Memory and another code R, Paper Mario, Thousand Year Door, primed to be a humongous, exciting announcement, but mucked up and sullied by the fact that it was the closer, and it's a 2024 title. No range announced, no season announced, just 2024, because you better believe they are stretching all of this out. Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon HD should be an early 2024 title. It is a remake of a handheld game, and they're gonna charge full price for it. It looks far worse graphically than its predecessor successor, Luigi's Mansion 3, which released on Switch 4 years ago. Instead, it's coming summer 2024, and Splatoon 3 Side Order, which probably was the best looking announcement of the entire show, is coming in spring. They are elongating the cycle and drawing it out. Remember, even this holiday is pretty stretched thin. Despite us getting 2 new Mario games, we have Pokemon DLC taking up September, and we got nothing in December. And now your early year slate for 2024 is another code, Mario vs. Donkey Kong Remake, and Princess Peach Showtime. Now, Peach Showtime deserves a little bit more love than maybe I'm giving it, because Peach transforming into different gameplay mechanics is a cool idea. Detective Peach goes hunting, Kung Fu Peach is a fighter, Sword Fighter Peach can really slash up the environment. There are cool ideas at foot, and getting Peach back in the title role is very nifty, but it does look like it's going to be a very family-centric, easy game, and it reminds me of like Yoshi's Woolly World, Yoshi's type game, but with Peach. Like, okay, the colors are fun, Nintendo's pizzazz and style and little tricks and flourishes are really interesting to see and witness, and you want to play it, but it's basically like a walkthrough. Like, you're doing it for the visual experience, not really for the challenge. This takes us to the big, empty, missing spot where Metroid Prime 4 could have been. A game that was announced years and years ago, rebooted years and years ago, and has not made a peep since. So strange that Nintendo dropped Metroid Prime Remastered earlier this year in February, and yet it's going to be a full year and we hear nothing on Metroid Prime 4. Nothing. Not a teaser, not an update, not an announcement, not gameplay. Nothing. Metroid Prime Remastered oddly comes out, hearkening the return of Metroid Prime, and then it's radio silence. Is Metroid Prime 4 going to launch with Switch 2? Is Metroid Prime 4 coming out on Switch at all? They indicate that it should be a Switch game. But now I'm a bit curious. I still would put my money on Metroid Prime 4 coming out on Switch first, and then Switch 2, but that game is not coming out for a while. I don't even know if we get a February Direct, but this showcase proved that we are at the tail end, and Nintendo is kind of coasting until their next system announcement. Now, maybe that happens early next year, and that's sort of the reason for this slowness, is they just want titles to kind of fluff it up while you wait. But the entire timing of this tells me that we're going to have a super slow 2024. Like, this holiday season, I'll still give them credit for. Mario Wonder got a tiny mention. You got the Mario Kart 8 Course Booster Pass, which should have been October, but is this holiday, leading me to believe that might be December's game. And then we do have Mario RPG, Detective Pikachu, and WarioWare, a collection of smaller titles and remakes, and then more remakes, and then more remakes. And I think it's criminal that DK, my boy, he gets a big role in the movie, he's getting a theme park expansion, and he cannot get a new game on Switch. He gets not even a new Mario vs. Donkey Kong game, it's a remake. Despite having very cute, fun, colorful visuals, it's a straight up remake. This Direct was so weird that we had a Nintendo Museum construction update. Moment of silence for the Nintendo Direct, where we had a construction update with an architecture's render of a white building. I don't know, man. I guess this was expected, anticipated, and feared, but to see it come true is definitely a bummer. It's hard to rank a Direct with a new Peach game, a bunch of Mario, as super terrible. Like, I don't think this is an F-tier Direct. I mean, Trombone Champ is dropping, F-Zero 99 is back, but some of their choices of, like, DK is here, but not really. F-Zero is here, but it's sort of just an online. To me, I think it's going to be a gimmick, right? It's going to be like a little fun fling versus a long-term engagement. Paper Mario is coming back, but we're not going to release it today like we've done past GameCube games. We're going to save it for a middle of the year 2024 big slot, and that's the closer. It felt like this Direct was done out of obligation, and it felt like this Direct was done because everyone expected it. I wouldn't even say that this felt like a pre-TGS Direct. I don't know how much it catered to that audience, although there were a lot of medieval Fire Emblem style games that weren't called Fire Emblem, so maybe it does in fact lead well into TGS. Unicorn Overload, man, I wish I felt overloaded by anything in this Direct other than remakes. My ranking for this Direct is going to be a low C. A low C, and unfortunately, I felt in my gut that's what we were going to get. Logic told me Metroid Prime 4 would not be here, and it wasn't. But I thought Nintendo would want to capitalize on an otherwise weak show with something major to get fans excited for 2024. Instead, they said kind of the opposite. 2024 is the year that maybe you play your old games. Now, there still are new things to buy, but none of it really has top tentpole caliber, or even probably will get top tentpole marketing dollars. You got another code, which is as niche as it gets. You got Luigi's Mansion as a summer title, but a cash-in. You got Peach, which is great. I think Peach deserves shine, but it's coming out in March, and it seems like it's going to be family-centric and maybe not get as major of a push as Nintendo's other main Mario, Zelda-type titles. There's nothing even teased that is of a substantial size. All of these games are filler games. All of these games are, yeah, just shove it in because we got nothing else. We didn't even get a Mario Sports title. Seems like Luigi's Mansion is going to take up that June slot. I don't know that there's much more. If you layer in the side order DLC for April and Luigi's Mansion for June, they could take May off or load up a third party, and we might not see anything else for Nintendo Switch besides what we saw today until after this summer. Now, the holiday lineup is obviously under wraps because it's Switch 2. I think this should confirm for you, any naysayers or doubters, that Switch 2 is indeed holiday 2024, and we'll dive into that in more details soon. But the Switch is over, my friends. The Switch generation is coming to a close, and this Direct signified that it's going to go out with a bit of a... I thought maybe Nintendo would capitalize on the 130 million player install base and the fact that they can continue to print money by releasing solid software and actually close out with a super strong year. It felt like this year was better than anyone expected it to be after the early rumors were that, hey, Nintendo has nothing after Tears of the Kingdom. But now 2024 is going to really own that mantle, and 2024 is going to feel slow. We had Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom to look forward to. In the past, we've had new Marios, Animal Crossings, Pokemon. I don't know what you look forward to in 2024 until the new system. And Nintendo probably should get out ahead of it and announced that new system early in the year, so at least we have that to hold on to. At least we know that there's bright light at the end of the tunnel, because right now the tunnel feels very narrow. And outside of a surprise Game Awards announcement of Metroid Prime 4, it feels like that game is not coming till the second half of next year, and will probably be in line with the Switch 2 release, rather than its own separate Nintendo Switch 1 thing, or at least will come out shortly before and then after, and might as well be. I feel like Metroid Prime 4 is now going to be leveraged as a showpiece for Nintendo Switch 2, and the graphical improvements there, so they can show it on Switch 1, show it on Switch 2, and say, look how much better it looks. C minus, C. It's a C. I'm sorry if you were expecting more. I cannot believe Donkey Kong is going to go the generation without a game. I think that feels criminal. We got 2 Splatoons, a whole bunch of Zeldas, tons of Fire Emblem, and DK can't get more than a remake where he's not even playable. To me, the biggest crime, though, is that Paper Mario is being leveraged as a major title when Pikmin 1 and 2 and Metroid Prime Remastered were shadow drops. That's what I'll leave you on, because that goes to show how Nintendo is feeling about next year. They're going to take something that was a shadow drop in February and release for $40, and they're going to leverage it as a massive summer title. They're going to leverage it as their big Mario game because they know Mario sells, and so put Mario there. We can drop it for $60. It doesn't have to be shadow drop. Oof. I don't appreciate the consistency errors. I don't appreciate no Nintendo Switch Online update, and I don't appreciate a closer worth a closer, but it's the end. Time to party like it's 2016, because we're going to be waiting for a new console, just like we were back then. Until that time, though, everybody, I'm sure there'll still be plenty to play. I know our wallets have been overloaded. There's lots of great games, so don't be too sad, but it's over. Nintendo Switch is done. So thanks so much for watching. We will continue, of course. Switch 2 will keep SwitchForce going for years, and obviously, I'm sure there'll be fun things to play in the meantime, and plenty of news, leaks, and rumors to cover. So thanks so much for watching. I appreciate y'all. Let me know your ranking in the comments down below. I feel a bit of a sadness today. It's bittersweet, but I guess it was going to happen eventually. Thanks so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, stay positive out there. Until next time, SwitchForce out.